evening, guys. Sorry, a little frazzled right now because when I went to post the video on HLI, apparently I haven't posted the or done anything on the Terminator in long enough that it's not on the site right now. So that means I haven't done anything on the Terminator since at least November. So let's see, who is this? What is this? Where the hell am I? Kaylin, you're on my stream. We're stuck in a time loop. And hey, Eric. Yeah, guys, it's one of them things of I just kind of was posting links madly and, didn't get one over onto HLI. So sorry about that. But I will post one either later tonight or tomorrow something. Evening, Dan. How's it going? Let me see. Let me kill those bright ass lights over there. Oh wow. Google just is telling me my birthday is right around the corner. I know that. I know when I was born. Matter of fact, today was my daughter's birthday. I wished her a happy birthday a little while ago. So, yeah, last week I pretty much finished the X-Wing. Over the weekend, I did do some work on it. There, that should be better. Hey, Chris. Who, both Kaylin and Eric. But did do some work on the X-Wing. The only thing I've got left to do for the most part is figure out my wiring for the power, because I've got the power for the original parts, and then I've got the power for the Falcon 3D parts. What I'm going to do is run wires out and actually jumper it off of the plug that's going to go into the ship to run the rest of it. Means that anytime I apply power, the engines will be on, the cockpit lighting will be on, but the the blasters won't be on, R2-D2 won't be rotating. And I think that's the only thing that's left inside the kit, because I've replaced the engine lighting. What else is going on? Did some work in the last couple of days on the Queen Mary 2. Let me see, is she close enough? She's almost close enough. She's still in paint. I thought I had made enough of the base color or the hull color, but as you can see, I ran out. Need to make up a little bit more. Got to do the engine pods, but I am loving the way this ship is coming. Goofy's supposed to be a cow and not a dog. No, Clarabelle, his girlfriend, is a cow. Goofy is still a dog. Why would you think Goofy is a cow? Just because he makes you have a cow every time you see him, Eric. And one last thing before we get started. This is going to come off. And this will be the T-800's gun. It's not a bad prop. It's not, it doesn't look bad until you do this. And then it turns into a toy. There's that. 35 up for 35 hours. That's not that bad. Try a 30 or I don't remember if it was 30-hour shift or how long it was. My longest shift in the Air Force was upwards of 30 hours on my feet. So let me get this set down here so it won't fall over. And let's go ahead and flip over to, well, first we'll go to that screen so you can see that he is literally, this is a 36-inch cutting pad, and if I bring him down, his heel is on the corner here, and he's almost to the top. So he's about 35 inches when done, plus the stand. I've noticed that some of the things have loosened up over the months. Actually, that gun is perfectly sized for him, I think. It's about 1/2 scale. Goofy is an Aberdeen Angus cow. Where are you getting that from? Hey, Kenny, how's it going? Yeah, YouTube will probably ban this video because of the toy gun, because I showed a toy gun. Terminator's okay, you know, warships, all that, but the toy gun is not okay. So let me flip over to the main screen, and I actually had to figure out today where I left off, because I looked at it. I knew I was trying to get to stage 90 last time I did this, which was months and months ago, but I left off on stage 83, and that's why I'm going to start sticking with a single one until it's done, because I've got several of them. Well, not several of them. I've got this one that I've got all the parts for. I've got the Route Master that I'm not working on yet. I've got the Ghostbuster car that I've got most of the parts for, but I've, just like everybody else, I've been at a standstill for parts since October. Mr. Rusty Nuts. Yeah, actually really good job on the car. Ken and family and puppies. He doesn't have the puppies yet, Eric. Hey, GB, just saw that I read what you said to Kenny. Actually, I read what you said about the big gun. I didn't even catch it was you. Welcome to the stream. Puppy cam and have it streaming 24 hours a day so we can pop in and get space loot. That would be actually kind of fun. So, in stage 83, we left off in 82, finishing these tendons, which I'm really glad they haven't fallen out in the intervening months. So on stage 83, if I can get it open, there are more of the pins that I'm not using. I do need the index finger tip out of here, though. Oh, by the way, Kenny was very proud of me today. I posted on Discord that I couldn't find anything in the shop anymore because it was clean again. Until I brought the Terminator in, both desktops were completely cleaned. Maybe not, well, not cleaned maybe, but clear. Because I say not cleaned because there's a stray scrap of plastic right there. Can't miss top. Me either. And I appreciate that, Kenny. I'm actually looking forward to your review. I got my Grissom yesterday. Bench Assistant Puppy Cam Live. Yes! Yes, it was beautiful. It still is. It's still underneath here. So like I said, got the fingertips, got more of the brass barrels and the screws and the washers. Some very tiny screws here. These little ball sockets that are going to make up the wrist. These are the caps that go along with the pins that are all in there. Oh, I take it you're saying the Grissom will be done before the Delta Flyer? Because I still got to start working on my Delta Flyer. Pizza Dude, that's kind of awesome. If you're buying pizza to watch my live stream, I I'm very touched, I guess. I'm honored. That's what it is. I'm honored. So just like anybody who's been watching my streams since the beginning, the fingers, again, are basically the same thing. You got the finger tip here, middle joint, rear joint, where it connects to the wrist. HLI Tall Ships Group Build. What ships are you guys building, Kaylin? I will probably try and tune in, but I can't join in to build because I'm working at 10 o'clock or noon your time, which is 10 o'clock my time. Okay. So, I just thought about something. I do not have my orange screwdriver box on. Yes, I do. Actually, it's within reach. Indeed, Kenny, tall ships are awesome. I don't do enough ships. I love building ships. Shrimp Scampi, awesome. Well, he's on the West Coast, and I'm on the in the Mountain or Central Time. HMS Victory, a 225th. Oh, come on, you should be doing the 196 scale. That's the one I have. That's right. Your coffee with Kaylin is noon my time, but because it's 10 o'clock your time, so noon your time is going to be 2 p.m. my time. That's right. Dopey me, I lost my mind. Has anybody seen it? So let me grab one of these. I did keep my tweezers handy where I could find them. So there's 2 screws, 2 washers. Set those up out of the way. The Heller 1/100 scale Victory. That would be a good one too. I have the actually, what did you say? You're building the Victory. I was thinking the Constitution. I have the 196 scale Constitution. Great ship. Good old Ironsides. So let me get this first screw threaded in here. Just let me see, where do they start? They start with the end here. And the rounded, never showed this, I don't think. This rounded piece here, the rounded part there is for the knuckle. For it lets you, the finger, move back and forth. So that one's not going to get a screw. What's going to get a screw, and it's going to come in from this side here, because the other piece is going to be made up here. It's going to come in from that side, and I'm just going to set it in there like that. I'm going to bring this longer knuckle here, or a longer finger joint, I guess you'd call it. Set it on top here. Before I put the screw in, though, so the tank has become a temporary shelf clean. Throw some glue in here. That's more than too much. But this is actually, usually I use the cheaper glue. I've decided I'm going to use the good glue tonight. The actual Loctite glue. So I'll put some in there. I need to put some on the threads on this side as well. So that once I tighten this down, everything will seize up and it won't go anywhere, but I'll still be able to move the finger. It's been so long since I did this that I don't remember how to do it almost. Okay, there we go. Is it threading? I believe it is. Yeah, it threaded in. Maybe. Let me get another screwdriver on the other side so I can hold it in place. It looks like one of them is cross-threaded, but I'm not sure which one. Ah. So that one's going in. That one's gone in. Almost need a set of third hands, or the third hand here. This is just not going all the way together. And I see it, this one is cross-threaded, is what it looks like. Just give me a second, guys. Let me grab my third hand. This is actually a recent acquisition, and I'm leaving the light over here. I saw it, and I thought it was awesome. So now hopefully I can grab a hold of this thing. There went the orange screwdriver. Hopefully I can grab a hold of this thing on both sides and actually be able to get a hold of it. Don't need the tall ones. Like I said, recent acquisition here. Really like the way this thing works because it is magnetic. The only thing I found wrong when I got it, so one of the magnets on these, this one, the magnet's a little bit loose on this one. But other than that, I think that is awesome. And what that is for is to hold a circuit board. Let me see. They look like they're both threaded in there right. I just can't get it to tighten up. No, this one is definitely cross-threaded. Maybe. Actually, it's acting like it's threaded in there. While I'm doing this, I'm not looking at the chat. Sorry, ouch. Maybe I should hold it with just one of them. Excuse me while I whip this out exactly. And the clips on these things are actually held into place by the knobs, by the thumb screws. Oh, come on. Okay, so that one's coming out. we go. Crap. Washer did not fall all the way to the floor like it could have. Hey, Shu, I see you just walked in. Excuse me. That is cool. Going to see me. I'll try. I'll try and stab myself in the screwdriver. I won't be happy about it, but if that's going to make your day, I will try and stab myself in the hand with a screwdriver. Let me try it this way instead. Take it from this side. Don't forget the washer. The washer's mainly in there to keep the screw from going through. And of course, by now the glue is dried and set. Matter of fact, just because, let me make sure that it's not causing the problem. Use this one instead. It's been a while since I've done these, and so I'm a little bit out of practice. Of course, I cut my fingernails, so I can't grab a hold of the screw the way I'd like to with the fingernails. That screwdriver's not doing a damn thing. Or that one, for that matter. Wrong size head on the screwdriver never helps. I just realized something, guys. I am a complete and total idiot. I am sitting here trying to screw these in with a cross point, and these are hex. Just realized that. So let me get the right hex. I think it's 1.5. And yes, that is a 1.5, and that should solve the problem, except for the drop screw, and hopefully there are spares. I'll find it later if there aren't. And since these are magnetic, I will just, yeah, there's the problem. The glue has set in here. But these are magnetic, and I found some other pieces there, or parts that I got earlier by just running a magnet across the floor. So my whole problem was being in dark and using the wrong type of driver for these. That's how track building was going last night. That's how these things go all the time. But now, since I have it started, and I'm working on it the right way now, see, this is where I start rushing and start making even more mistakes, because I sat there and I did it wrong, and now I'm like, I gotta get it done faster. I don't. So let me get this screw on here. The other one is already pretty well set in there because the glue that has dried. Come on. There we go. That's how that was supposed to work. And let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I just have a feeling I'm going to need that screw, so give me just a second. And this is what I'm going to use to find the screw. Because I know where it went towards. I just don't see it right now, and I'm not going to spend too much time on it. If I end up having to do something different later, like, I don't know, maybe using one of the kit supplied parts, I can do that. I'm definitely not going to find one of these screws in the hardware store, I don't think. Only problem with having a tile floor is things, when you drop them, tend to bounce a long ways. Not seeing it. I didn't get it on magnet. I am going to press on with pride, and we'll see what happens. Hey, bud, welcome. These helping hands came off of Amazon. I love this thing. There's two different types. One of them, or there's multiple types. This one has has 4 hands plus a extra arm that has an LED light on it. Other ones just have the hands. I love it. I think it was well worth it. I convinced my wife I needed it, and so she bought it for me. What did Eric say? Oh, not bad. Okay. Yeah, Eric's back is healing, I believe. So hopefully he won't screw it up again. So let me get a little bit of glue in here. See if I can, maybe that's why I was using the cheap stuff, because it takes longer to dry. Put that on there. Put it through here. Come on, get on there. Put the washer on the screw. And hopefully this will just go in the way it's supposed to. Of course not. The one thing about these helping hands is they don't turn very easily because of the thumb screw that holds it together. Washer's magnetic. It attached itself to the post there. Of course, the screw fell off. This is just not playing nice tonight. And I think it's because I'm trying to do it on the helping hands. Note to self, do not try and work with tiny screws right after cutting your fingernails. It doesn't work very well. Come on. These fingers should not be this big of a pain in the ass. Well, there went my PG rating. Wait a minute, I missed something. How's this one? This one's really good. I know the yellow one's really expensive. I want to say this one was like $49. Any of them, all of them, I think, are just about the exact same thing. And I saw the yellow one, and I thought it was kind of cool. But I wanted the one with the light, and wanted the light and the arms. I wanted the one with 6 of these. Doesn't really matter. And like I said, this one here, I don't know if you can see it. The magnet is loose on here, but I think it's a screwed on magnet, and so there's no way I can fix it that I found yet. So now I have the family listening dinner. So I will say hello, Kelly. Hello, Elaine. Hello, Kenny and Kenny Jr. And Eva, I think, or no, Ava, if she's there. Did I miss anybody, Kenny? So, actually, you know what? Looking at this, yeah, I have plenty of extras here because I have 20 screws, which is enough for 10 joints. Yeah, actually, I might end up one shy. And if I do, I'll just, like I said, use these instead and glue the hell out of it. Well, there's the cats. Oh, this is going to be a dilemma for a while now. Kenny's naming his dog Janeway. The dog truly will not know anything different than its name. It's like we have the son of Zeus living in our house. Apollo is one of our dog's names. He doesn't care. He doesn't know. When he was a puppy, or when he was a smaller puppy, because he's a puppy still, he would always come in, when he barked, he'd be like, bark! You know, really high-pitched and everything. So I've given the dog a nickname of Borp, and he listens to it. My wife, because of that, calls him Borg. You know, so a dog's name is great, but the dog doesn't care. It just wants to know that you love it. Won't be made fun of for being the runt. That is true. And the interesting thing is going to be to see how all the dogs act when they get there to the family, because having 3 different owners, it's going to be interesting to see how the dogs act about who's the alpha. Because one of the dogs is going to end up being the alpha. Lucy, our cotton to Tuliar we used to have, we lost her a couple of years back, was all of 6 pounds of fluff. But she was 19 years old, and so the other dogs knew she was the alpha. She was in charge. Damn it. Okay, come on. Thread in there. Don't name her Ensign Kim. She'll never be in charge of anything, and she'll never promote. Okay, come on. V'ger. Not V'ger. So is the glue still wet enough? Yeah, there's enough glue there. Put the fingertip on. This one was a little bit of a pain in the behind, but I've got the hand or the finger together. This was the index finger. Wow, this one is really loose. Like it's flapping in the wind loose. Yeah, it could have been that's why he never got promoted, or he just was in the wrong place at the wrong time. He was in the middle of a lot of issues. Think about it. Kim was at ops. Every time that they got hit with something, it was his fault. Poor Harry. That's what Tom always used to say to him too. Poor Harry. Why not Chippy? What was funny was I actually had the Terminator himself set up to give you guys the finger, and I decided not to. Sorry guys, I am pulled back, concentrating on this, not worrying about whether you guys can see it or not, which is foul. So right there, I've got the screw. I'm holding it with my finger. You can see the barrel there. This is the finger I'm working on right now. Working with the whole hand like this, though, it's a little bit easier. Should be a little bit easier. I'm not going to jinx myself and say it is. Should be a little bit easier to get a drop of glue all over everything. That's why I have paper towels right underneath the bench. Try this again. Get some glue down in there. Set the washer on top. Set the screw right there. Grab it. Is it going to go in? It's not quite. Fudge! You guys don't know how hard it is for me to get down on my knees like this. But while I'm down here, just take a real quick look with my hand. I don't know if you guys just heard the jewel pop from my knees. Okay, so let me grab this barrel. The problem is that this one is in too far. These, where the finger meets the wrist, it's a little bit thicker than the rest of the joints. Almost left off the washer. Where the finger meets the wrist is a little bit thicker, so I have to make it sure that the bottom one is backed out a little bit further before I try and put the top one in. Because that's what the problem was, is it was just spinning and not catching on the barrel at all. And it's still not. Hopefully that will make it stick out a little bit further. Hang on. Oh. And these screws could be just a little bit longer. I know that they sourced them with, wherever they sourced them, they probably got the longest ones they had at this size. You've got to be kidding me. It still isn't going. Okay. There's your problem. I just looked at the other fingers. Like I said, it's a little bit thicker. It's about 2 washers thicker. That's why it's not going on, is because the washers are not. See right there, there's no washer. On the bottom side, there's no washer. There's no washer there because the screws aren't long enough. So now, it goes in there like it was meant to. Except for it's not going in still. God bless it. Yeah, what it did was on the other side, it twisted it in. She could have went with Goofy, yeah. Pip's not when Jane weighs. She will get pups on her collar. Yes, but put pups on her collar. Nah. Short screw, we've all been there. Name her Alita. Alita Battle Angel. That would be a intriguing name for a dog. So the glue is hardened on the other side. The screw is into that hardened glue. It should stay there. There we go. Oliver Benson, Olivia Benson, Law and Order. So I will tell you guys, like, you know, with dog, what the with Charlie, when you're talking about dog names, them being influenced by shows is, I think, is quite frequent. Because it was funny the way Charlie got his name, his full name of Charles Fuzzy Pants III, was I was watching Enterprise, and Trip Tucker is Trip Tucker. God bless it. This time I see exactly where it went. Trip Tucker was Trip Tucker the third. I kind of said, I like that. And that day, Charlie went from Charles, just Charlie, to Charles Fuzzy Pants the third. Sometimes we called him Esquire. Never watched The Orville, Kenny? Good show. Best recent Star Trek show out there. And it is Star Trek. Don't let anybody fool you. When you're up on the ranch, worked at, we renamed all the characters, named all the calves with names from the Hunger Games. Were you trying to tell them something? Were they all about to be lunch? No frustration. Yes, it is almost painful to watch. It's more painful to try and do. Note to self, don't use good super glue on this shit. Use the cheap stuff, because the cheap stuff doesn't dry for a long time. I would almost be at the point now of going to get a cigarette, except for I quit 15 years ago. Oh, success. Hey, Spence. Let's see. Orville, good show. You'd think, Kenny. Think you would like it. Third season is on soon, which is really sad because that show started when I was in California and I've been here for 3 years. We've had a lot too. Some have had to go to other homes as we PCS'd. Lucy, our cotton, was the first one that we had from her birth until she passed. Orville? No, Orville was on Fox. Okay, guys, I have got to take a momentary break. Frustration, and I gotta pee. I will be back in about 2 minutes. Talk amongst yourselves about the Orville. I am back. I need to set up an intermission screen because that is happening more and more often as I get older. Is that good or bad? Frustration, Pete. It's just that I'm getting older. I used to be the guy that would go for 8 or 10 or 15 hours on a ride, drink all kinds of water and everything else, and I wouldn't pee until we got wherever we were going, and then I would pee for like 15 minutes. I've gotten older. It doesn't work so well anymore. Yes, my aim is much better than on the bench. It's too quiet. You're really quiet. I say that on Discord a lot. At 300, need a wet clamp. Needle drop. He's going to jump scare. No, I'm not going to jump scare you. Yes, Google can tell me my birthday. I was born on Washington's birthday. So, just got the fourth finger on this hand, which is the second to last finger in the entire build, which is good. I'm not really a fan of. Okay, and so yeah, they have the sleeve and the pin. So the next thing that we do, and I'm going to take these helping hands out of the way because they weren't much of a help, and I don't want to accidentally cut something on them. Next thing is these 3 balls and these 3 screws. Yes, I said balls. Sorry, made my own joke. So there's 3 screws. There's 1 extra. Done this exact thing, same thing, many videos ago. Let me get out the trash screw box, because I'm no longer tracking these because they provide enough for each one. And oh, by the way, you don't see it, but the construction of the left thumb. The next thing after this is another fucking finger. So back here, that's right. Back here, there are 4 holes. Let me see if I can get it there. There's 4 holes that these joints go in. These make up the wrist, and we use for right now, we're going to use this one, and this one. There's a third or fourth ball that'll come along in a later stage. This thumb, oh no, this finger, that is the one I just did. God bless. It's loose. It's bugging me because it's just kind of flopping. Back to fingers. I know, painful. And of course, this one has to join in the game. It's not quite lined up. It's good enough. They're gonna hold eventually. All right. Let that thing flap. Yes, screwing with my balls. So these bottom three screwdriver, where is the regular? There it is. Of course, what didn't help at all at the start was that I was using the cross-point screwdriver on hex head nuts. And of course, the magnetism on this screwdriver is wearing out, so it keeps falling. I need to switch bits so that thing will actually stay attached to the screwdriver. Those fingers are making me mad. Only one of them was made tonight. Okay, that's started. Let me put that into the socket. Get back into the socket. Makes me want to go back and watch Caitlin's video about why I shouldn't do part works. Almost there. Okay. Yes, actually I am realizing I should have worked on the Ghostbuster car. Or Enterprise. Then Donnie would be here. True. Make Donnie happy. No, the Enterprise is going to start getting some love here soon. But it's going to be off screen because I'm going to take that thing completely down. I'm going to take it completely apart and redo the windows. I watched Wayne do them, and I actually bought the acrylic that he is using, and I think it's going to be awesome. I saw somebody had done the entire top of the saucer that way. It looks so cool. So much better than it does right now. Kaylin's wife is probably very happy that he canceled. Holy crap! That one's coming completely apart. Yes, she was so happy that he canceled these. She's like, and since you did cancel that, we will let you buy nothing. Yeah, that one finger from earlier is falling completely apart. I can't move on without fixing it because the other finger will be in the way. And now, of course, this one is popping out. Days like this make me want to be like Kenny and not stream anymore right now. Come on. Okay, you're on there. A screw in there. Just because. Now it's not going to let me back it out either so that I can get rid of the plastic that's clogging it. Come on. Stay in there, you bitch. And yes, I just called part of my model a bitch. So yeah, this finger has all but come completely apart. Damn it, anyway. Let's see, waiting to see what I do with the power. I want to wait and see what they do with the power before I do anything major. But I'm thinking I'm just going to run a wire between each of the boxes, not in parallel, but in series, to run it from the, to the from each of the positive terminals that are in the battery box itself, the ones that they take the power out of, just run a wire to there. You don't have a crappy live stream. And let's see. And he took all our money and bailed. He's like a televangelist. Praise be the Janeway. I have some Kool-Aid for you, Kenny. HLI funding is funding his fur family. All hail the mighty retrievers for their golden in every way. Yes, they are, Spence. Very soon, Fios will be here, and we will have crappy live streams. Like I said, your streams aren't crappy. Shave first and trim your nose hairs. Don't like the power for the Cobra neck. Actually, I probably won't. Before I get to that point, I will probably run a wire out of the Cobra neck just in case. Not that hard. And if you saw the X-Wing stream from last week, I am not afraid to drill a hole in the $1,600 model. Okay, so finally, only took an hour to do one finger and 3 balls. That sucks. Hour and 10 actually. So, yay! In stage 84 is another fucking finger. You are supposed to be able to take the saucer off. Yes. But nobody knows how the saucer is actually mounted. Eagle Nest is not speaking, and nobody, has gotten that far. I don't think Eagle Moss even knows how the saucer is going to stay on. What I think might be, and that's going to really be a sticking point for a lot of people, and a lot of people will be going back demanding money back, because what I think they're going to do is they're going to have a little stand. I've heard rumors they're going to have a little stand that you can set the saucer on, and then you can slide it together with the engineering hull. And that's wrong. That is absolutely wrong. It's nothing like we're expecting when we got into this. So I just took out, again, fingertip, 2 joints, oh yeah, and the thumb, because it attaches in a little bit different spot, has a little hole in the back and a pin. So it will actually attach via screw. If I can get it right there. Oops, right there like that. There's the screw hole right there. And I believe, if I remember right, there's going to be screws that go through there, through those 4 holes, to attach the tendons to the wrist. Sorry, I'm dropping F-bombs. Keep saying error. I'm seeing the chat fine. Supposed to be able to attach the saucer. Saw a build on Facebook page. One person removed all the reflector plates and just ran LED tape. Thinking about that, Dan, but I think instead I'm going to use the plates just because they're there. Oh, we'll stay on 2 even. Hang on. Hey now, Buck. Wait. So that's the thumb. You mean that, Spence? None of that? I apologize for the F. I don't apologize for him. I'll tell you I apologize, but I don't. I grew up on the flight line. F-bombs happened all the time out there. That's what, I mean, it's a normal word. I tend not to use it these days near as much because I am, one, I was a first sergeant for a while, for 5 years, retired as a first sergeant, and two, I'm a budget analyst. You know, those finance pukes. Those guys, their ears would explode if I dropped F-bombs in the office. Sorry about your eyes, Shu, but don't you already wear glasses? So you can't blame it on me. So that's the thing, is I haven't, the Terminator's mad at me because I haven't done anything with it since at least November, since there wasn't even a post on HLI for it. So it hasn't gotten any love in a long time. Yes, they do. Knuckle busters. That's the thing, Kaylin. I don't think the Enterprise D comes in any larger size than 1 to 1400 scale outside of the Eelmoss one. That was one of the huge appeals of it, and I still like it. I'm still going to finish it. And tonight, guys, I'm not going to mess with putting any more super glue in these things, except for when the one on the far end screws all the way down. And like I said, Caitlin, that's one of the draws of it, is that it is the large scale Enterprise D, and you can't get one anywhere else. Look, guys, I'm back to using my cheap glue, because it will let me put glue in there and won't set up as quick as the Loctite. So I got the glue in there. Put the washer back over. Let me get this screw back in here. Come on. Let me unscrew this one a little bit. Try this again on this side. Any one of these parts could have been just I might end up with more than one. I tried to move back fast enough to catch it. I might end up with more than one with these ones with the silly original parts. Come on. There we go. Start talking nice to it and it starts playing nice. Hang on, F-bombs. Don't do it, Kaylin. There will be 3D printed though. Oh, Canadian Starships is doing a 1/1000th out of resin and fiberglass? Wow. You want to start behind. Probably should start because the hind is going to take months to do. Good luck finding one though. I think they aren't doing a 1/1000 scale Enterprise D because it starts getting pretty large. I mean, you know how large the Enterprise is. The Enterprise D from I do need to play a little bit of Barry White for it. But from the Eagle Moss one, you know how large a 1/1000 scale Enterprise D is, and that's pretty significant for plastic. It's pretty significant for metal too, but it just, I don't know you're going to find one that big. And I think when you start talking resin and fiberglass, you're right back up into the $2,000 scale. And it's, I believe that putting lights in something that size when it's fiberglass and resin is going to be worse than the Enterprise D that we've got is. I mean, don't get me wrong, Kaylin. I understand your reasons for quitting. I have them too. The exact same ones. Where's my glue? There it is. But I'm too far into it. I can't. I hate to spend another $1,300, but I can't see throwing away the $700 I've already got into it. And I can fix most of the foibles it's got. Just the neck and secondary hull interface is what is concerning me. That's the most concerning part, because the rest of it, not a big deal. It, as far as, you know, running power up from the base through the neck to the saucer, not a big deal, because my saucer will probably never come off the neck, especially if I don't have to change batteries. But I saw coin batteries in the nacelles, and that bothers me. I think Boyd's still working on that massive TOS. I don't know for sure. The best one I've ever seen, and there's a copy of it, there's this one that is in the Smithsonian, was the one that was built by Steve Neal. Back when he did more models than everything else. These days he's back into his, you know, he's got his special effects shop, and that's what he's trying to do. Back when he was just doing models and when he did his 6-foot Enterprise, I think that thing is fantastic. But I think he only ever built 2 of them. One is in the Smithsonian. I don't know what he did with the other one. And he got a little bit commercial. You know, I don't know if they ever got married, but he got a little bit commercial when he got together with his girlfriend. I always like to talk to people about Steve Neal, because he was, for the most part, just a guy, even though he was very deep into the Hollywood special effects. Matter of fact, he's got a movie credit to his name as an actor. Anybody ever heard of the show or the movie Laser Blast? Let's see. Carbon fiber TOS was expensive as shit. Yes, Spence, the one that Steve Neal did, I want to say he said it cost $4,000 for him to build it. He was great when he was in his garage. Are you kidding? I saw Laser Blast on somebody rented it on VHS way back when I was in A1C E2 living in the dorms. And another thing, I mean, I caught one where he was talking about Ghostbusters. He was on and in Ghostbusters. When what was it? Sigourney Weaver, when she gets grabbed by her chair and hauled off into the kitchen, on her right-hand side, the arm that comes up through the chair, that's Steve Neal. So I see 4 screws, and I only think I need, you know what? Let me see. Not sure which ones these are. I see 3 packets of screws. I see only 2 screws here, or 2. Unless, very cute. There's 2 different kinds of screws in there. Saw them driving. Yeah, a lot of my videos that I've watched over the years, especially on VHS, were in Germany. My ex-wife, God rest her soul, I will say that much. I don't hate her that much. Well, I don't hate her at all anymore. It's not worth it. But my ex-wife loved Mel Gibson. Oh, did she love Mel Gibson. So we rented Lethal Weapon when it first came out. It was $5 a day, or I think it was actually $3 a day from the video store at Spangdahlem. And I could have bought it for the late fees because she kept it for like 6 weeks. And so I knew that movie, damn near every line in the movie by heart, because I saw it every day for about 6 weeks. I don't mind a good movie, but oh my God, come on. She loved Mel Gibson back then. Last drive-in I was at was actually in California. I think there's still one in Yuba City. Or no, not Yuba City. I think it's in Roseville. Problem they have with drive-ins is they don't make that much money. They charge you like $5 or $8 for a car, and you get 20 people in. Okay, so it says hook that up first. So that's the spare. Think I'm just checking threads. No. Checking to make sure I get the right threads in here so that I don't strip it out and the thumb fall off. All I ask is that the terminator stay together long enough to go on the stand and then never get touched again. Okay, so the thumb will go on, like I said earlier, right here. There's a pin that plugs in there. Pin, and the screw goes in there very gently. Hang on. Of course, it fell out. I had it on there wrong anyway. Sorry if I'm off screen, guys, but I'm trying to get this thing driven down in there. And of course, it just popped out of the socket. Why do I have a feeling I've got the wrong screw? Let me try this one again. Thought there weren't as many threads in there, but no, that's not it. Truthfully, what I need is the chat right here, because that's where I'm looking right now. Vanished in the early 80s, missed drive-ins, $10 per person here, but when you are old like me, they are only 8. It's almost like this screw is too long. Success. So you can see, got the screw there, the pin is in there, this thumb is not going anywhere. And so this little ball that I just made here, yes, I'm playing with my balls. This time I'm playing with my big ball. And it's funny that they made these out of the plastic. These 3 here, you can't, I think there's replacement parts for. They definitely make a replacement part for the big one for it to, it's out of metal instead. This one is going to be this, should be this one. Let me just make sure. And that's what I don't like, is the fact that you have 2 halves that you're trying to screw into. Very easy to compromise the strength of this ball. I think that's going to work. And of course, it's all cockeyed right now. So let me try this. Let me see if I can keep this in camera this time. Drop in there, screw. Screw's sticking out quite a ways right now. I think that finger just got loose. It's been one of the ones that's been troublesome tonight. Can't even get this screw bit onto here. Actually, never mind, I got it. And it's going in. Come on, a little bit further. No, this isn't one that was troublesome earlier. This is a new one. This is the one that's been troublesome. And it's just spinning away on the other side. I hate these fingers. What I think is funny is the guys that are doing mods to these to where the head moves and everything else. I'm like, what are you doing about the stupid hands? Thumb is now loose. I am thinking seriously that once I get the hands where I want them, I'm going to just glue them completely. Okay. 3 more extra screws. 730. Damn it. Okay, let me see if I'm missing anything. I smell my finger. No. There will be no finger smelling tonight, Chris. Close that. Close that. And fortunately, there actually was quite a bit extra stuff. And those are the last fingers. So as long as they don't explode, I'll be okay. So let me move this stuff. Let me grab pack 85, which is extend the lower arm and connect it to the hand. This one should be relatively straightforward. Got 3 pistons. Believe that is the elbow joint. Some greeblies. 3 little gaskets, 3 screws. None of those screws are spare on this one. Sure, the 4 springs are still running through the holes in the base of the... Wait a minute. What do you mean? Sure. Missed a page. Must have missed a page. Did miss a page. Okay. These 3 little gasket things. And I got, as I did last time I worked on this, can't tighten them too much, otherwise you can't move the piston. Come on. Actually, there are 4 screws, so there is a spare screw. There's just no spare gasket. So these are identical on either side. So there's a screw hole in the end here. Screw goes through the little black gasket and into the hole in the end of the piston. That was close. Lose the black gasket onto the floor in the evening, and there is no going back. That's not. The head of that screwdriver's not going in. I've got the wrong one here. Got that one is too big. That's what she said. Eric's awake again. It would have been nice, but there again, Caitlin, these things are $1,600 as they are. For it to be for it to actually be a mechanized cyborg would probably cost upwards of $2,000, probably closer to $5,000. So let me do that 3 times. Exactly, Kofefe, Eric. You don't need a Keurig, Eric. Keurig is just a really expensive way to make coffee and pollute our landfills with pods. Third one. And by the way, guys, just to let you know, I kind of mentioned it earlier. I didn't say it outright. I brought all the Terminator parts in here. So the Terminator will be it until it's done. Then hopefully it will be the Ghostbusters. Then the Enterprise, because hopefully by then I'll have parts. Those are recyclable. Yes, they are. We actually have something like it that we went through the Keurig phase as well. We have the I forget what it's called, but it uses pods as well. But we've got a refill system where I cut the pods, cut the lid of the pod off, and then refill it and put a new lid over top of it. Works really well. Takes me about 2 minutes to make 2 of them, one for me, one for Andrea every morning. And it's no longer polluting the environment. Okay. Get rid of those. These are little silver pin looking things. And it's funny too with the Terminator, some of the screws that have gotten loose, some of the screws that have, well, the one screw that fell out. I wonder what he's doing at night when I'm not paying attention to him, because I haven't moved some of the parts where things have fallen out. Take the hand assembly. Apply a little super glue to the peg. Okay. So it is saying to glue these little dealy bobs into those rectangular spots. And dealy bob is a technical term. It would be very weird for a metal Terminator to have PE. No, I don't have a cure egg. And we're doing the same. We're using reusable pods. French press or mocha pot, then ground go into the compost. Oh, the used grounds go into the compost. Nothing is wasted. That's cool. Our used grounds go into the garbage disposal. Well, they used to. Now they're going to start going. My wife is, because we have the axolotls and they eat worms. So my wife is setting up a worm farm. Oh, that's right. These little things. Now I remember what these are for. These are actually kind of important. So I just glued one in right there. And this finger fell. It's loose again. Do the same thing on the next one over. This is where the springs are going to attach. The 4 springs come through the base plate of the wrist and get glued onto these pins here. I said springs there. Let me call them by the right name. The tendons. I know Wayne, when he did his Terminator, crossed up some of the tendons, made them a little bit tighter. He liked it, and so he left it that way. And I don't know what's going on with these fingers, to be honest, guys, because the fingers on the other hand are still pretty tight. So I don't know if you can see, but at the here, and here are those parts now. Then fit these inside of each of these. The key thing is when I fit them, they have to be able to move back and forth. Yeah, see, I can tighten that screw up actually a little bit if I want. I don't want it to stick too badly, so I'm not going to tighten it too bad. Yes, axolotls are very cool. Yeah, not a problem. Take care of your kitties. We have 2 of them. One of them we call Axel, the other one we call Lucy. Lucy is a pink one, Axel is a brown one. And they're very different sizes. That one's a little tight. Lucy is the larger of the 2. And one time she was a little bit hungry, so she ate part of Axel's tail, one of his front feet, and one of his rear feet. And Axel has been very shy ever since then. But he has finally grown that stuff back. And we're doing a worm farm so that we don't have to keep paying. I mean, it's only $5 for 20 worms, but we don't have to keep paying for them. And it was funny, yesterday I fed them. And Lucy came up to the surface, and she looked at me, and she just ate the worm. She's gotten to the size where she eats the full worm at one time now. It's a large ball. Does it actually pop? Yeah, it should pop in there. Let me double check. Because I just felt glue and I was like, no! I do not want to lose one of them pins. Next one here. Here, and here. And see, this is the large large, I guess you'd call it a bone that keeps the rest of the wrist keeps the wrist in place. I mean, truthfully, it doesn't move hardly at all. Would be nice if it did more, but that's okay. So you fit the sockets over. Springs are supposed to go through before I put these on. Oh well. Because there was those 4 holes before, and I can still see them. So this one will go through. Is that a hole? Yeah, that's a hole. Like that. Turn the hand over and just do them in order. Make sure I got the right one. And see, this is where Wayne had crossed his up. There's number 3. And if I can get it, number 4. So now you should be able to see the springs right here. There's one underneath the thumb. Oh, now you connect the ball joints. And then with these, let's see if I can get the thumb out of the way. It says to put the glue inside the spring. I think it's going to be just as easy to put it on the pin. And then slide the spring over top of the pin. If it will go over top of the pin. Come on. I'm not going to mess with that anymore because I'm screwing up the spring on that end. And I think these are supposed to simulate the parts that in the movie you saw Arnold reaching through the skin and pulling on the spring or the wire, which was his tendon. Damn it, I keep kinking them. There's a couple of kinks underneath on that one, on those two actually. See if I can get this one on. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually get them on to these pins. And then I'm going to put glue over top. That's going to actually work the best. What probably would have worked even better in hindsight is 2020 is to put the spring onto the pin on this silver part and then attach the silver part. That's much better. So a little bit of glue there, some right there. That one's boogered up. That one's a little bit too long. But from the backside. You don't see it. You can see the tendons here in the arm, and you can see them going through. And if not sure if you can see it, that one right there, I really screwed that one up. I am a kinky kind of guy. Hang on. Guys are about to start a riot. By the way, guys, our 4 Ukrainian suppliers have asked us to pull products from the shop for now. That includes ClearProp, Cat 4. Not surprised. Current situation, something happened while I was sleeping in Ukraine. Caitlin, things have been going on in Ukraine for a while. Right now, it's pulled stock from the site until things calm down. The Terminator was in a movie. Yes, the Terminator was in 3, 4, 5, 17 movies. Okay. So that leaves me with this one screw that isn't used. The arm is now done, and I think this socket actually goes up here. Not sure where this socket piece goes, but it's now 7:53. It has been a little bit of a stressful stream. I am one wild and crazy guy, or maybe one goofy guy, but I'm going to leave it there, call it a stream for tonight. Be back on next Tuesday. Amazingly, we managed to get, 1, 2, 3. Got a whole 3 steps done today. But the fingers sucked. I'm not going to mess with these fingers probably. I'll eventually fix them. But once I get the arms onto the Terminator, get the Terminator onto the stand, get the gun into his hand, that's it. He's going to hold the gun and just be like that. I'm going to have the base turned on occasionally. Still not sure how they do the power for the head. Sometimes I kind of get the impression that the head is powered by the base. I don't think it is. I think it's going to be, what is it? I think eventually this battery box actually goes into the Terminator's head. I'm not positive though. And it will control his eyes. His eyes, I don't think they turn left and right. They might, actually they do. I think they turn left and right. And it'll be controlled by, I think, some sort of a remote. I'm glad the stream was fun. It was a little stressful for me because of the fingers. And that's the thing. Like you said, even with the issues, I have fun with this. Even a good stream, even if Eric was here. Thanks, Kenny. I appreciate it. Let's see. That's the same. I've heard that too. Speaking of which, that reminds me, and I had never have hooked up the Grissom board, but that reminds me, I did not advertise the boards tonight. Still got the flasher going, and this flasher very likely, if I can, hang on. There's only one way to do this. That is to actually shut off the bench. There, now you can see that it's flashing. Now you can see my magic trick too. So the flasher's been going since May. This has been going since July. Still does the blasters. Don't make a liar of me. Hang on. I may have Really, something is disconnected. And I'm thinking, I did, when I was working with some wires, I did pull one. I can't figure out which, let's see that. No, it didn't die. I'm pretty sure I have a wire that's not on, not in the right spot. So that goes there. That goes to there. That would be interesting if it finally died. Actually, those are hooked up. But see, when I pulled wires today, I pulled 3 instead of 2. I should have only had 2 loose ones. So I'll have to go back to the instructions and figure out. Wait. It just was scared of the dark. Because I just got a photon torpedo. And there's the blaster. And now if wow, blaster really got crazy. Let me put my hand over this because I can see it. I don't know if you guys can. Let me see if I've got it. There. Now if you look, you can actually see the breathing effect of the red one of the engines. It's very, very subtle. So, okay, back to where I was. I got sidetracked. I love those boards. Working on some magic stuff. I did not break the HLI board. It works. No 24, no magic smoke. I did not let Maddie see in my house. So you saw that the board works. I don't know if you guys saw that the red one has a slight breathing effect for the impulse or for the engines. Love these boards. I have a bird of prey upstairs that I'm still contemplating. Actually, I've got 2 of them in my bedroom that I've looked at, and I'm contemplating which one is going to get the HLI, this HLI FX board. This one that's the flasher is going to end up in my Voyager that I showed last week, I think it was. Or no, I showed it on the Sunday stream. And more LEDs makes the engine effect more visible. Yes, Spencer is the magic man. So, I had a great time tonight, guys. Even though, like Eric said earlier, even though there were some issues, still finally got it together. I've got, let me see, we're on issue 86. That's 25 issues left. And with the, with the X-Wing, I thought it was going to go a lot faster. No bets on the Terminator because the Terminator is a whole lot more complicated than the X-Wing. But I expect by March, late March, the Terminator will be done. Then we'll be on to the Ecto 1 and getting into summer, and it won't be night when I get, complete night when I finally shut down the stream. Let's see. I have many Voyagers. Thanks, Mark. Thanks, Chris. You know, when you get the blaster for the bird of prey, that's when I have to build my build a bird of prey. So, my normal outro, like and subscribe the stream. If you want to see more content like this, if you do, hit the bell. I also post on multiple places when I'm going to do a stream. I wasn't able to hit HLI today because it's actually been since before the site went down that I did a stream on the Terminator, so I'll get that up in the next day or so. Speaking of which, HLI is It is in the description. Great place to go. Great place to meet fellow modelers. Great place to pick up these boards. And great place to, if you are trying to learn things, to go to ask people how to do it. Have a great evening. Have a great day tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your family. And stay safe. I will talk to you next time.